Here we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hi, Internet.
Hello,
Hey,
Internet. Welcome to another exciting Blades in the Dark session featuring the Blackwing Caravan. These lovely, fine folks who I have surrounded myself with. We're all getting assaulted by allergies and life, and it's going great. uh,
Very chilled, mellow day today.
Yep, everyone's just low key. Let me get everyone in the right spots here, and by that I mean Tez. Let me get you in the right spot because you were Simone. Simone is not here, but she might be later. We'll see. How's everybody? How's everyone doing on this nice?
Who would like to go?
Moderate today.
Low energy
headache,
Monday.
doing okay.
Nice.
Just feeling mellow.
Yeah. We should like
Actively being murdered by Mother Nature.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I feel that. I didn't have anything exciting to do as a pre-show discussion this time, so I guess let's just jump on into it. Unless anyone's got anything they want to discuss.
I would like to change the name of the game for tonight from Blades in the Dark to just like Blades in the Dim.
Blades in the chill.
chill in the dark. We're not blades in the dark. We're just chill in the dark. Just straight chilling.
Like spoons in the dark.
Spoons. Yeah. Sporks in the dark.
Sporks in the dark. There's still some sharpness in case
Oh,
we
man.
just stab
It
him.
hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
A little.
Sporks in the dark should have been what we called the prison episode.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Oh, this is a fun thing. I was telling Eric about this yesterday when we were recording our podcast, but I mislabeled the episode numbers on YouTube. So I thought we were on like session 12, but we're actually on like session 9.
Yeah, I knew we hadn't done that many.
I had
Seemed very high.
Yeah, I had just I think at one point when I was exporting them onto YouTube and I was looking because I look at what the most recent one I upload is so that I can make sure I have the number right. And I think I looked at I looked very quickly and saw like our D&D game on like episode 8 or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, cool, whatever." And that was like several weeks ago. But like someone was watching it on YouTube, like this person, and like commented like where's episode 3, because I had like I had like labeled episode 3 as episode 4, and then I had labeled like another episode as like another
That means
episode.
somebody's watching, so like hello.
Exactly.
Person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, exactly. Person, if you're watching this episode, I forget your name. I can fix that.
But
I'm
we
just gonna look real
appreciate
quick.
you.
Yeah, this is now a hold on. Let me swap over. But yeah, now everything is properly labeled with all of our everything is labeled the right way. Dragon Rain is the user who commented. So thanks, Dragon Rain.
Thank you, Dragon Rain.
Oh, I love Dragon Rain.
Yeah,
He's the best.
this is
I hear that guy is totally awesome. Or gal.
or gal, yeah.
Or gal. Or
yeah.
non-conforming, whatever.
Whatever you are,
Whatever
if
you
you can
are.
anything. I don't
Happy
care.
Pride Month.
Happy
Right.
Pride.
Yeah, happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride, everyone.
You want to be a single cell organism? As long as you're watching this show, I'm down.
Honestly.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you for being there.
You can sexually identify as an attack helicopter. I don't mind. Thanks for watching.
Right? What's the pronoun for that? I'll call you by it. Like just
It's
whatever.
just like whatever the chopper sound is. Yeah, it's really hard to talk to them if you can't roll your R's. It's rough. Yep. So Dragon Rain, this episode is dedicated to you. Let's play a role playing game, shall we?
Word.
Let's roll and play.
I'm sure you all remember exactly what happened last time and exactly the
Mostly.
situation your characters are
Okay,
in.
so we were in the room with the guy
Yeah.
who we determined was not hot. and
He was
was
like-
not.
that's
and was
He
not
like
into
might have
me.
been hot at
That's
one
it's
time, but like definitely
entirely
wasn't
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, so
And then
so you guys went to an address given to you by I keep forgetting this NPC's name and it's really
Joffy.
it's bad. Joffy.
Joffy.
I
like
keep
coffee.
wanting to call him Jasper. I don't know why, but his name's Joffy.
I mean, if you want to change his name to Jasper, that's
Nah,
fine.
nah.
Oh no, wait,
we've
wasn't
committed.
Jasper? Jasper was the name of the bartender.
Yeah, Jasper was the
Jasper's
bartender.
the barista. Yeah, that's
The
right.
the
The
man bun
barista.
guy.
It's spooky, so
Oh,
he's a
barista.
boo-rista.
Who
Oh.
He serves ghosts.
Yeah,
Spooky.
at the local bar stocks.
Ghost accessories.
So
Ghost and ghost accessory.
yeah, so you guys made an arrangement through Joffy to meet a potential dealer to set up a supply chain for some materials that were acquired through dubious means, which you could then sell because you're hawkers.
Because we do that kind of stuff.
Yes, you did.
So before we continue,
Yeah.
this is gonna be a real lame question, but hawkers just move, like, we sell stuff
Yeah.
that's like, or stolen goods. Is there anything else that we're supposed to be doing?
Well, you're managing the acquisition and sale of all sorts of different whatever types of stuff you guys want to do.
Potentially stolen,
Yeah, whatever.
potentially illegal.
Potentially, I'm hoping that we're going to be like funneling cursed artifacts through our base and be like, oh, who wanted the skull that forces families to murder each other? Who is that going to? Oh, yes, Lord Baltimore, that's right. Like,
Well, I mean, I think we have to start small.
right,
with
that's why
Yeah.
we're getting blood
drugs.
diamonds.
Yeah, so
right?
you guys
Signing
are
for drugs.
you guys are meeting with a gem merchant, who goes by the name Pyrite, who you also know because of Echo's intel that she got, that he is a known supplier of the Lampblacks, who you don't like.
But we also know that he moves Blood Needle.
Right.
Yes. You I don't know if you know that for sure, but you've made that inference and there's been no evidence to the contrary.
We're assuming.
So you went to this place to go to this meet, and it turns out the place that you were going for the meet was a bangin' happening nobles party gala. You made your way in through various roles and social encounters, where you met with Joffy, and he brought you up to meet Pyrite. You met Pyrite. He's an old looking, very business-like man who basically sat you down and said, like, all right, like, sell me on looping
On
you
us.
into my chain. And you guys had a conversation with him. Everything's going well, and then the last thing that we saw was someone come in and whisper to him, and we saw that they had a Lampblack gang
He's
tattoo.
a filthy lampblack.
Now, if there were to be like a mental sidebar
Mhm.
with all of us going into this, is
Like
there
a-
a
like
like,
a
just-
flashback? Is
well,
there?
kind of like
Yeah.
just a general question out there? Is there a particular reason we hate the Lampblacks outside of we worked for the Red Sashes? Is it
Yeah. The red
Used
Sox,
outside
yeah.
of like outside
the-
of just that we worked for the opposing team in the beginning couple things? Do we have a personal stake in hating the Lampblacks enough that if it came to it, we could be like, "Pfft, what? No, we love you.
Well, don't we have a rep with them?
You have a negative
just-
rep with them because you screwed them over in your initial kind of like founding because you stole from them.
Right, but they're not
Right.
like
Yeah.
hunting us down. Like they're like, oh, these
Not-
people are on our naughty list.
Yeah, like they don't like you, like you're on their shit list, but they're not like about to go to war with you. You guys are like
Like our names are on a shit list, but they
We're
don't
at-
have pictures
Yeah.
of us. Like they're
Right.
not like these are the
We're at
ones.
like a -1 or a +1, and a +1 with like the red sashes, right?
Yeah.
yeah. You're at a +2 with the red sashes actually.
We are.
Yeah.
I thought +2 was like at the point where is that the point where it's like they'll come to help us, but they expect us to help them in return.
Correct. Yeah, and
Yeah, that's fair.
and
Let's call in an attack right now.
and and -1 with the Lamplocks means that y'all aren't on good terms, but you're not going out of your way to screw each other over or whatever.
Okay. So
the other,
ultimately,
the other thing, and I told you this last time, Marissa, your enemy Bajo Baz is the leader of the Lamplocks.
See, I didn't know that. Well, Marissa didn't know that. I'm sure Undertow knew that, but
Right.
all right. So
we
we do have
kinda-
a personal stake.
I mean,
to not like
if-
them.
I mean, if you want to consider us a we, I have a personal vendetta against them.
Right.
What I do consider us a we.
Oh,
I do.
course.
I do.
are we best friends now?
Don't go crazy. There's still Felicia. Felicia's still my
I mean,
best.
yeah, there's only so far.
Your best
Right now,
frenemy.
it's a business
All right.
friendship.
Yeah.
Felicia and I are best frenemies.
We're gonna become best friends one day, guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Spend some
Okay.
time, advance to a new tier, and then we'll talk.
what if we get in good with the Lamplacks to get you close to your enemy, and also get this deal?
Get close to my. I don't know if I want to get close to him. I think he could kick my ass.
Oh.
I make
Probably.
no comment one way or the other.
I
All right.
mean, I'm gonna make up the fact that he is well. Okay, I'm not making it up. He's the head of a gang, so I'm assuming he's levels above us. Is
You
that
know-
an accurate assumption or
you,
no?
Yeah, you know that the Lamplacks are like a higher tier than you. You don't know how much higher of a tier.
But they're-
We're at 0 now, right?
Yeah.
right. Yeah, y'all are like y'all are nobody.
There's literally nothing below us, so we could
Yeah.
just assume.
So
So
I think it's probably best for me not to get in his face right now. But I mean, one day
Mm.
we'll
That's fair.
fight.
Yeah, and we'll have to talk in between games sometime, Marissa. We'll have to figure out why you and Bajo Baz, like what your history is like.
I have some
Well,
idea. I have a
yeah.
little bit of an idea of something, but it's
We'll talk about it in between.
okay.
Because gotta get set up those cool story reveals. Anyways, bringing us back into the moment, the fiction. You guys are all in this room. It's a very ornate office full of mahogany furniture, and
have I complimented him on like all of the nice decor yet?
don't
I think you
so.
did.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
I think you did.
Whether
wanna make sure.
whether or not you did, I believe you if you say that you would have done that in your negotiations, like in your
Well,
Okay.
rapport
remember last
building
time-
phase.
How it took us like an hour to actually get talk to him because we kept saying stuff about how could there be wood if there's no sun.
Oh my
and-
god, that's so right.
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
hysterical.
we hashed out some of the deep lore.
The
People
It's just really, really, really old wood.
deep
the
cuts,
important questions.
deep cuts of like the fact that this guy has wooden furniture. That is like a tell of like what kind of powerful position he's actually in.
Right.
He's got a bonfire. He's actually burning wood.
He doesn't actually. He
so
doesn't.
much of it.
He doesn't actually. But the place is lit by electroplasm lanterns, so which is like the equivalent of electricity in this place.
Right.
So yeah. So he is currently being whispered to, and we see that the guy he's getting a whisper from is like a lampblack person.
Right.
And
I mean-
as
Yeah, go ahead.
no, that's fine. As this person's like kind of like whispering and like kind of telling him whatever he's telling him, you see his face kind of like not really reacting. He's pretty stoic, but he definitely like kind of like narrows his eyes a little and like looks over the four of you. Do you guys want to say, or does anyone want to say or do anything to like kind of like head this off, or?
Y- uh,
I'm not. I'm just gonna
I'm-
sit there and be like, he could be saying anything. I'm sure they're not gonna start a ruckus during a gala.
I'm
Like,
I'm gonna
Would-
I'm gonna be innocuous. I'm just gonna be like, can I just be like, is everything okay?
oh, that's good.
um, yeah, and
I'm gonna say, I'm fine, thank you.
yeah,
Would Echo have recognized this person from the like maybe this was one of the people that was in prison with her, or is this a new lackey?
this is like just a grunt. It's like a
Okay.
generic kind of like person. Yeah. So, he looks and he says, and he like turns to the person, the messenger, and like kind of like nods and like thanks them for the information, and the person gives like a respectful like bow, glances you all like a
Kiss ass.
glances you all a meaningful look, and then proceeds to exit the room.
Can I memorize his face so I can sleep with his father?
You're welcome.
I'm sorry,
to...
what?
Yeah, that went places. Yeah.
Happy Father's Day now.
Oh boy,
Yikes.
That sounds like something Undertow would say.
just have that
It
emotional
is.
trauma in your back pocket.
Right.
And just be like, just so you know. No, that's fine.
Yeah. So.
Sorry for all the moving around. I apologize. Go on.
It's all right. It's a very action oriented stream.
Action-packed episode.
Action-packed episode. Pyrite, the man known as Pyrite, turns and says, well, I just got some interesting information. It seems that you keep some interesting company, according to my
Yes.
sources.
We are friends with many people. Can you
As-
be more specific?
As people in our industry should be. We keep our options open so that we have lots of options.
And he says,
We don't like being backed into a corner.
It was like savvy answer, business answer, like
mildly threatening.
mildly threatening. Like,
Yeah, that wasn't a threatening. It was more of we want to have a way out.
no, it was good because it was like three distinct personalities at the table. We're like,
Yeah. Crow says, "What's the worst thing I can say? Things are better if I stay. So long and good night."
Oh my god.
Anyways, that's gonna be my one. Simone, if you're watching this, that's for you. Anyways, he says, it seems that you've had some business dealings with some rivals of mine.
Can you again? I know I know that this is all we're supposed to be speaking very formally, but can you be more specific? Who is your rival? Because if
He
Yeah, go
says we can he cuts you off actually. He says we can drop all manner of pretense. You have had multiple business dealings with my Clave and the Red Sashes, according
Okay,
to my
so-
sources.
meta game. It's not worth it to lie at this point, right?
That's up to
I
you.
wouldn't think so.
That's entirely a decision y'all can make.
If he's aware, I'm thinking, if this is our telepathic sidebar, I'm thinking if he's aware that we've done some jobs for them, fine, we've done some jobs for your opponents, like, but
Sure.
now we're sitting here looking to do jobs for you. If you've
Yeah.
heard of the jobs that we've done, you know we get them done. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yeah.
Like, not as ballsy as all that, but like that's the gist of it. The idea that like we're not going to hide the fact that we're trying to work, like
And this
working
guy
girls.
is this guy is clearly affiliated with the Lamblacks.
Yeah,
So I mean so
I mean he's affiliated with them. It doesn't necessarily mean he is a
right.
lamp.
Well, that's what I
but
want to know. Is
He did
he?
say his rival.
And then the guy that came in was a Lampblack. So
Yeah, but he was fuck him.
It doesn't matter. He's insignificant.
well, that guy just blew our cover. So
That's true. He did.
we may have to go find him and murder him. But
Did I memorize his name to sleep with his father? I certainly hope so.
You can make a study roll.
Kinda, just in case. It might be fun later.
All right.
so
Potential downtime activity.
I don't
Risky
think
tangent. I'm not gonna go crazy over it. Nope. Okay.
Nope.
I don't think we should lie. It's probably a bad idea at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you guys.
I say just be upfront. Just be
And-
like, yes.
We don't need to give extra information, but say yes, we have dealt with.
We have dealt with this group. We are not necessarily affiliated with that because we aren't. We're not
We're
like
not.
officially
We're,
affiliated with
Well,
them.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's what I'll be. Say, listen, we do business with lots of people.
Yeah.
We're not. You know.
We had no idea they were your rivals.
We don't know anything about gang life. No, I'm not saying that. No, I would probably just say we work with lots of people. That's how we make our money. We can't, you know, I can't say that we haven't made mistakes in the past, but
yeah, and so regardless of what you say here, y'all get to make a roll, and then we're gonna find out, based on how this roll goes, how upset he is that you've done business with his rivals.
shit, who's gonna do the roll?
Depends on what you're
kind of
rolling and who you.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're trying to like sway this dude.
I mean, I could do it.
You're the one
If
talking,
I-
so
I'm the one. All right, so it's a sway roll.
it's a sway roll.
Okay. Is this just risky standard or?
Yeah,
Okay.
that may change depending on how this goes.
Yeah.
If you does anyone want to like help or whatever?
So if I stress myself one more time to give you that, I'm gonna black out, which I'm tempted to do. Like I think it'd be hysterical in this moment for me to be like, I think you've got the, and then just like knock out.
Only if I can help myself. I can stress myself out as well.
Okay.
Because I
I'll
might have.
save it in case we
I
get
might
into a
have
fight. I'll
I
save
have
my
lots of
stress to
stress.
get me out of that.
I may have sweaty palms over this, so I'll take 2 stress.
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. I'm gonna be eating.
Also, since Simone's not here, I'm gonna well that's the thing. So I'm gonna NPC Crow, for any like if you guys like, Crow will basically just be following you guys around, and like not really contributing anything. If you guys want him to make a roll or do something, you can say like, "Hey Crow, like try doing this thing," and I'll roll.
Okay.
And if you want, I can offer I'll offer assists for 1 stress, but I won't let Crow trauma out via that.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And
So
if you just because someone's not here, if Crow rolls and there are consequences, it'll go to you guys.
Okay.
Just because Simone's not here to deal with the consequences.
Sure. All right, we ready for this?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Sick.
Very
Alright.
good.
That's a crit.
That's a crit.
Hell yeah.
So
He's like, I don't even care. I was just fudging around, boys. Like,
no, that's it. So tell me again, like give me that what you say again.
Yeah, so I would probably say something to the effect of like, listen, we work with lots of people. We are very interested in working with you though, and you know, we're hoping that past I'll just say like I'll bullshit. I'll be
Well,
like past mistakes don't influence the deal that we can make in mutually beneficial agreement.
something like an exclusivity clause where we don't work with other groups as long as you're providing enough of our income.
Are you actually saying that?
In your ear, like really softly.
You wanna
Hinting at it.
you wanna
The
give this
secret
guy
language that you and I made up, and I will flashback if necessary.
this guy gets he wants a non-compete.
Oh my God. Hey, I crit.
Yeah, no, you did. And so I'm going to continue with the conversation. I was just drinking some water. Yeah, and he gives you like a good long look and he says, interesting. You're an interesting group of people.
At that exact moment, Felicia attacks. No.
Nah, I'm saving that for like when you crit fail something. No, Felicia is gonna stay in my back pocket for like 20 sessions until you've forgotten about her. And so yeah, he says, what you come to me looking interested in a supply of gems, but you have also alluded to being interested in other sorts of materials to flip.
Oh
Is
yeah,
this-
we can move anything, right, Crow?
We can move it, move it.
Yeah, Crow like just nods. And he says, anything you say. Then perhaps you'll be interested to see this. And this is your crit benefit. He like stands up and he says, come with me if you would. And he moves toward the back of his office. Do you guys follow?
Yeah.
He turns to the guard, like the guy who's like kind of like on guard next to you, Echo, and says, don't let anyone in. And the guard kind of like gives him a nod, and he goes over to a like large kind of like bookshelf, and of course pulls out a book, and it like turns into one of those revolving secret door type deals,
Right.
and goes in, and it leads to like a passageway with a stone staircase, and it goes down, and he leads you all down these stone staircases down.
I'm a
You
little
guys,
scared.
everyone's following?
I will. I'm just freaking
I'm
curious
gonna-
now.
So how many guards are in the room? Is it just the one who's now blocking the door, or
Yeah,
are
it's
there
just
like...
it's just the one guy.
Oh, because I'm not gonna walk us into a death trap. Like, yeah, I'd follow because I'm like secret laboratories. Oh my!
This is like the weird thing too, right? Where it's like it looks like super weird and ominous, but like, and like 13 may think that, but Eric, the player, knows that this is happening because Marissa got a
Right.
crit.
Like I know it's
you-
not a trap being
yeah.
set up, but 13's like this is clearly a trap.
Echo kind of looks
Sorry, go ahead.
looks at the bodyguard guy at the top of the stairs to try and get confirmation that it's not a trap. Like
He
non-verbal, but like
he
has
doesn't-
that
he-
skeptical eye.
He just stoically stares, like is just like kind of like standing.
Doesn't give me any information.
No.
Are you coming down, Echo, or are you?
Yeah, I'm coming down. I'm at the tail end,
Okay.
making sure that nothing comes in behind after you guys.
Yeah. So you descend down this like damp staircase, down what you perceive to be one flight, and then what you perceive to be like two flights. As you're descending down, a scent fills your nose or mouth, wherever you're
Nostril.
breathing out of your nostrils. It's like a fairly not great smell. It's like pretty acrid and I don't think it's a smell that any of you have smelled before. But
Does
it's
it
like
smell
it's
necrotic,
like
or does it
Can I-
smell like nature nasty?
Can I also make an answer that?
it's hard to tell because it's just like it's actually like it's hard to tell. It's like singeing your nose hairs the farther down you go.
Can I make an attune roll just to look?
What are you looking for?
Like what I assume to be the obvious presence of magic.
Ghosts and magic and shit.
Like the obvious existence of necromancy all over the place.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Go
like
ahead.
a simple like I'm just gonna see if I can see anything.
Yeah. Okay. You definitely sense that there's something going on, but so the consequence here that I'm giving you is that it's less effective than you
That's fine, yeah.
than you thought. So like you definitely can tell that there's like something going on, but there's like and like you've done
Would I
this.
sense something like dampening it?
Yeah, that's exactly like it's not. No, it's not that it's dampening it. So like you've done this kind of stuff before. You've like used your proclivity towards the ghost field to be able to like sense for things that are arcane in nature or discern the nature of things. It feels like that effect. Like you haven't felt something like this before. It feels like it's jammed. Like it's just like it's as if you're like closing your eyes. If you imagine it as like you close your eyes and you get kind of like a picture of something. It's like you do that and it's like white noise, but it's
It's like
like
wearing
all
a
in your head.
tinfoil hat.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like my third eye has a sinus infection.
Right. Yeah. You get this powerful headache.
I'm like, oh.
Not so different from real life, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm using my players' real life experiences and translating them into the game.
Sometimes life
So,
imitates art.
Sorry.
yeah. So you go down like a third flight of stairs. This smells like pretty intense now. And you come to like a landing at the bottom of the stairs, and there's a locked like wrought iron door, and he produces a key and opens the like padlock that's on it, and kind of like it creaks open, and says and he turns and says, this could certainly be an interesting opportunity for you all. And he gestures inside, and we get like the like kind of like camera shot of the inside of it. And he says, "Tell me, have you any of you ever seen Leviathan blood before?" And we see like these like vats and like barrels, and there's like a large machine that's kind of like running in the back. Like we
processing
hear
and all.
the hum of this like kind of like distillery. There's like a like kind of like runoff down the sides of the barrels and the casks and everything. There's like this like jet black, like almost like Vanta black substance, some of which is like run down and like there's like some stains of it around, and it like this is like you've never seen anything like this, any of you.
That's awesome.
And there's some just like running down the side of them.
No, there's like
Like
it's
overflowing?
like you know how like with like oil canisters there's like a little bit like because sometimes like runs down the side.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like it's like that kind of thing.
Okay. I was like, this man can just let it overflow like this? My
So-
God.
So what is Leviathan blood in this universe?
So
Everything.
So Leviathans. So here's some background information, and I think Eric, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
For the other two of you. So demons in this world, you know, like Satara, we've like kind of seen in 13's dreams. They're like these kind of like supernatural beings that take on um, all sorts of different like forms to like they can invade dreams and like have like different they're like extra magical, but there's a lot of mystery around it, but it's like pretty much believed, and it's like kind of like folklore that has like kind of been proven through research and science and stuff, that they're like actual physical forms in the material world are these giant, like Cthulhu esque, like Lovecraftian, like leviathans. These giant things that like live out in and like terrorize the Void Sea, which is like the the area, like the sea that is out in the Badlands. And they're these like giant, unkillable, like old elder beasts, and their blood is what kind of runs everything in Duskfall. Like their blood is distilled into energy that powers, like the equivalent of like steam engines or like just like it's essentially oil.
It's everything, yeah.
So the way that this stuff is harvested is there are a fleet of what are called Leviathan hunter ships, and they're these giant, like kind of like battleship esque things, like ships that go out with crews, and that all they do is they go out and attract these giant leviathans and fight them. They can't kill them, and then the hope is that they can damage it enough to collect enough of its blood and then not die and escape in order to come back with enough leviathan blood to supply the cities,
And this guy basically has like a swimming pool worth of it.
He's got like a basement of it, yeah.
Damn.
No. Oh, go ahead. You've been trying.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I kind of would think that Echo living out in the wastelands would come across some sort of, maybe not the Leviathan itself, but like lesser versions of these demons, that are more like feral like.
Yeah, well, there are like the wildland, like the Deathlands, like the area that you kind of like are from, is full of all sorts of like weird feral creatures. Like the whole thing about Duskfall that makes it different from every other area, like the thing about like Duskfall or Rivia, like the big cities, is that they have lightning barriers, which are these giant projected like shields essentially that keep out a large assortment of like ghosts and specters that like normally run rampant, and that's what like the Deathlands and the Wastelands are. And so like you go outside the lightning barrier and you're getting like tormented by all of these things, and then also these like giant creatures that have been like possessed and corrupted by all sorts of stuff, like, and there's like a lot more like demonic influence. So like
I just like to think that Echo lives on like the fringe of those two portions, like where the lightning barrier is the weakest, where things tend to start coming through. That's why she grew up in such a harsh environment.
Yeah, well,
this might be slightly familiar.
Well, it's a different sort of thing. So like if you grew up in the Deathlands, you're used to this kind of stuff, and you have probably heard like the old stories of like getting attacked by like dire wolves, and it's like, oh yeah, these are like regular wolves that have been like corrupted by like demonic influence and stuff like that. But this is like on a level.
This is way beyond.
Yeah, this is some like very high level shit.
Now, my question for me is, being would I have any experience with Leviathans or with these ships that kill them? Being like a pirate, or would I have ever interacted with them?
No, so I'm so excited to like answer all these questions because I love this. I love like this aspect of the lore. It's so dope.
This is like partially
Um,
rewriting our lore too, so it's very helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so your kind of like backstory as like a sailor and a pirate, there are like um there are like a lot of like rivers and like smaller kind of like inlets, and there are like predetermined kind of like safe like warded routes through the Void Sea. So if you had ever spent any time on the Void Sea, you would probably have uh been like going through these like very specific like warded currents like kind of thing to get onto or like interact with like a Leviathan hunter ship. It's like militaristic. These guys are like essentially like marines.
Sure,
that, like,
no,
go
I
and
wouldn't
do these
expect I would have.
things. Yeah.
I wouldn't. Would I have like seen them, or like would there have been lore on the ships
Oh
about
yeah,
them?
yeah. You would have like everyone knows like the stories, right? Like
Okay.
everyone knows like the ghost stories about Leviathans. Like it's the kind of stuff that like old crazy people, like men who are like in bars, like are telling these like ridiculous horror stories of like these things that like everyone else is like, yeah, of course, like sure, and and like there's stories like, oh, like I was out there and I watched my friend Ed get torn into a million pieces with one tentacle, like that sort of stuff. And it's just like the kind of shit that like sounds like tall tales, but like might not actually be. It's hard to
Right.
say.
Right.
Like the lines get a little blurred in this world as far as
Cool.
like that sort of shit.
And then my question regarding
Yeah, ship
Leviathan
it.
blood.
I'm sure Simone's gonna have a million questions on this shit too.
I don't think 13 would have ever encountered Leviathan blood, but he definitely knows what it is. What are the two things? One, how illegal is what we're about to start doing? Because there's levels to
Right.
illegal
Yes.
activity. And then
Yes.
two, how would this impact Satara? Because Leviathan blood is effectively semi-demonish blood, so are they like cool with us like moving their blood, or is it two separate things altogether?
The answer to your first question, as far as like how illegal is it, incredibly, as I'm sure you can imagine,
Okay.
Leviathan blood is an incredibly regulated resource.
Oh man.
Like
I
it's like oil, like essentially, but like it's so like to give you like a bit of extra like context, if there were ever a Leviathan blood shortage and you like ran out of Leviathan blood, there wouldn't be anything to power the lightning barrier anymore. Like that's the levels of like, and so like the government of Duskfall like heavily regulates the intake and import of this stuff and the distribution to the various like corners that it needs to be able to do. So like illegal Leviathan blood trading is like a thing, but it's like it's like, you know, it's the difference between like, oh, like we're selling, you know, pot or whatever, and like we're like moving like nukes. Like,
Right.
Yeah, it's like selling a joint.
Well,
versus,
that escalated quickly.
selling a joint versus like
Selling a nuke.
12 pounds of cocaine. Like,
right,
there's-
yeah.
Like just
I don't
being
know
a drug
about you,
cartel.
but I am so excited about this.
Oh, I'm super pumped, especially because of all the different. So then, well, my second question, just so that I know what I'm up against.
Yeah, so that's what I was going for. Your second question, you don't know.
I don't know at all. Okay.
You'd have to like ask or commune and like figure that out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Leviathan blood isn't just the power of the city; it's also like this is used in like occult nonsense up and down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So as he opens the door, the camera shoots in. We get a full glimpse of everything. 13's going to stress and pass out.
Yeah, right.
Just like
No, I'm literally like I think Undertow is like like trying to stay really, really calm, but like inside he's like, oh my god, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god,
And
we got this.
it's
Oh
like
my god.
this it's probably so like because you've never seen it before, like you don't know what it looks like. So like he
Right.
opens the door and you like see all this stuff and he says like how do you think you would do moving some Leviathan blood? And like that's like the thing that you all are like, oh fuck.
Echo takes a step back, not she's trying not to be like scared, but she is kind of like
Right.
very wary of this.
Oh no,
like,
I think everyone
Yeah.
here is terrified. I don't think.
yeah, yeah, no.
This is
No, we're not ready for this, but it's definitely good information to have.
this is literally like I feel like
if
it's
everyone
when,
here is terrified, I'm doing my job.
I feel it's like when you tell like you're hanging out with the older kids and like you're like, no, I'm totally cool, and they're like, oh, here's some cocaine. And
Yeah,
it's
they're like,
Alright, so, like,
Yeah.
what to do?
Yeah.
It's like
like
I
you were
don't think-
sitting there drinking like a Mike's Hard Lemonade, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Do you like that? Do you want to do meth?" And you're like, So like,
Yes,
you like
no,
that Mike's Hard?
this-
You're like, oh god.
All right, I am going to play this very, very cool if I possibly can.
His question was, how are you at moving Leviathan blood? The answer is like, how is anyone at moving Leviathan?
How can we even dignify that with an answer? I mean,
The last
Like,
thing
we've got to go delicately.
you know, I think, we will, nope, calm.
Nope.
we are good with this.
Are you sure about that?
I'm for the record, while 13 is probably peeing himself, he's giving you like an affirmative head nod. Like 13 agrees.
I am like so excited and so scared and like I'm like this is how we're gonna be taken seriously and
I'm gonna start planning my next character,
we're
but
gonna
like
get-
I'm here.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get so much money for this if we can actually do this.
Oh,
Hello.
hey. Hello.
Shit
now-
just went down,
Hello.
so be
Yeah.
prepared for some-
Yeah, you've come at a very interesting time. Hold on, let
And
me.
you have to fix the overlay, right?
Yeah, I'm fixing the
All right.
overlay real quick.
I'm gonna run and grab food because I haven't eaten yet and I just got hungry.
Yeah,
let me go
do that.
grab
Do
some.
that because we'll catch Simone up while you're doing
Catch
that too.
one up.
All right.
Let's see.
I'm filled with tacos and happiness, so I'm good.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm hungry as shit. All right. So let me catch you up, and then I'm sure because we just had like a big twisty revelation-y thing, and
Okay.
and everyone had a bunch of questions, so I'm sure you're also gonna have a bunch of questions.
Yay.
All right. So, the start of the session, negotiating with this guy, right?
Mhm.
And he
The guy in the room.
yeah. The short of it is Marissa crit the last kind of like talking with him, and so he says, okay, well,
Nice.
if you're cool with moving anything, because she says you can move, she said we can move anything, and so he said anything.
Oh no,
huh?
is it human?
And so he
Is it human?
No, not
So
that
he-
bad. Well,
so hold on, because the journey is the important bit here.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he gets up and he says, "Okay, follow me," and he takes you guys back to the back of his office where there's a bookshelf which has a book that he opens with a lever in it that turns into one of those cool rotating secret doors, which
Yeah,
brings you down.
obviously.
Which brings you down some stairs. You go down the stairs, and as you're going down these like 3 flights of stairs, you start to like smell the smell you've never like smelled
I've
before.
never heard this smell before.
You've never heard this
smell,
smell
this
before.
eerie smell.
Yeah. It starts to like singe your nostrils. It's all this, and you come down to the bottom, and he opens a door and says, "How do you feel about moving Leviathan blood?" And you see like a bunch
Got
of
it.
barrels of this like Vanta Black liquid that like
That was actually my
Is-
second guess after humans.
Is nothing like there's like
My
a,
first
he's
guess
got,
was
like, a-
also humans.
My first guess was humans, and then I was gonna joke and be like, "Oh, removing like Leviathan blood," and then you were like, "Wait, there's a journey," and I'm like, "Oh, it's not Leviathan blood then."
No,
I
it's
expected him to pull a tablecloth off the table, and it was just like a cage holding people, and he's like, "Move these!" Like,
I thought it was gonna be some kind of weird porn or something. Like I was
This
I was
is so much
scared. I got
better.
real, but then yeah, I got
Scared
so
and excited.
so to give
as
you
always.
to give you a bit of what I gave these guys about Leviathan blood is that it is literally like the like, no pun intended, the lifeblood of the city. It is
Yeah.
like essentially what powers like most everything that is like technological, because it's like super dope, and it's farmed and mined from leviathans, which are out in the void sea, these giant Lovecraftian like incomprehensible monsters.
Yeah.
That,
You don't kill them; you just wound them
right,
and take the blood.
as much as you
Yeah,
can, and hope you don't die on your way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's and oh, also this is highly illegal because, as you can imagine, this substance is heavily regulated by the government.
Say that again.
This substance, this stuff is like heavily regulated by the government.
Oh,
So-
okay. I thought you said sanctioned by the gods, and I was like, what?
Nah,
My internet
No.
popped out for a second, and I was
No.
like, what?
no gods here.
Okay.
So yeah, so Crow, you like kind of like shake your head and suddenly come to a consciousness that you didn't have moments ago, and all of this kind of sinks in. You've never seen, or like you know about this stuff. You've heard like stories, like folk tales, and like old sailors in bars telling like the equivalent of like ghost stories that like you may or may not have believed. But like in front of you is this substance that is like the byproduct of all of those ghost stories that you've heard.
And as you come into consciousness, you hear him asking if we are okay with this, and I'm giving the thumbs up and being like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah.
Echo's taking
Undertow
a
and 13. Undertow and 13 are giving the go ahead. We're like, mm-hmm.
Echo is taking a slight step backwards because she's terrified, because she knows of the nastiness that can happen, but not to this scale. So this is just terrifying for her. But she's like still stoked.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a middle ground and I'm just, you know what? You got this, Undertow. Like,
Thanks.
yeah.
13's
Crow doesn't really
13's
have
gonna
an
look at
opinion
Crow.
one way or another.
13's gonna look at Crow and go, "We got this, Crow. Like, we're a group. Like,
We are. This is gonna be. This is gonna be either really, really great or really, really terrible.
Really, really awful.
I don't know which yet, but I'm excited. I'm excited to find out.
I'm like, this is gonna make our group, or it's gonna break our group.
We're
Yeah.
literally gonna die.
You're
Gonna
either
literally kill us.
you're either gonna be set, or we're gonna start a new campaign.
It's gonna be a new game.
How
That's-
do you transport Leviathan blood, and where does one put it?
Are you asking?
Are you asking?
This is a general room question
Oh,
to
okay.
the sir with a lot of mahogany. Like,
Yeah, he says, well, I believe that the means and methods of transportation will be left
Up to us.
to the lot of
Yeah.
you.
side note, is there anything about Leviathan blood that makes it like acidic? You have to store it in a certain container, or is it just blood?
You don't know.
Okay.
Got it. Cool.
I'm gonna pull out 4 burlap sacks, and I'm gonna be like, I'm pouring it in here.
Alright, So,
Oh my
so
God.
here's the thing. I think we need to do some research.
Yeah, I agree.
We need to regroup and get some resources. So
Can
I'm
we
gonna say,
Google how to smuggle Leviathan blood?
does anyone have a smartphone? A
It's-
Dusk Ball
it's-
smartphone?
It's Google.
Ooh,
Google.
um,
It's my second ghost pun of the night.
I
Love it so much.
I think it would behoove us to to just give him the thumbs up and say we can do this, but we need a little bit of time to get some stuff together and get back to you.
We need time
that
to
cool?
formulate a plan, plan so that way we don't fuck this.
We were really thinking we were moving diamonds tonight, maybe some blood needle. We weren't thinking we were moving literally the thing that powers the entire,
And
world.
where is it going?
I don't know yet.
Again,
I'm not asking you.
Oh.
I'm asking the man with the wood. Like,
again, he says that would be up to you guys.
No, like
Oh,
oh,
we-
so we're just trying to sell it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. We're hawkers. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, okay. This isn't
Yeah.
transporting. This is
this
us
isn't a-
black
this-
marketing.
Yeah, this
Is
isn't
this
a.
true?
Wow.
This isn't like y'all aren't smugglers. If you were smugglers, then it would be here's this Leviathan blood. I need you to safely and discreetly get it from here to here. But y'all are hawkers, so it is.
So we now have to set up who's taking this.
Okay.
Oh, guys, I got it. Just sell it to the city.
We're gonna have to think about this.
They need it.
You're so
Would we be allowed?
That's
to
like
take...
that's like the most like level 1 thinking. like galaxy brain. It's the galaxy brain meme. Like
Oh, that was brilliant. Just sell it to the city. Oh.
they,
Let's take this from here and put it over here.
I need it.
Would we be allowed to take a few samples with us? Not like large ones, just enough for us to figure out how we're going to move it, how we can
Bring it back to the lab.
So we can
I'm
study
not-
it. Yeah, no, for
Yeah,
real.
I was
And
gonna say like a vial's worth.
and
Yeah.
also show it to others as a means of like a business card of like this is
Spreading
this
word.
is what we have.
Make
And
some
like-
sort
And,
of
and
roll.
privately to confirm it's real.
Make some sort of roll. Is that what
Make
you said?
some sort of roll. Convince me with your dice.
Let's see. What do we got?
I want Steve. I want you to now go on a date and like have the date go really well. And when she asks if you can like go on a second date with her, just be like convinced with your dice. Like,
yeah, just hand her a d20 and be like, "Sell me on it."
oh my god. Yes. Sorry.
Nah, I'm not. I'm not charismatic enough to pull something like that off.
Oh my god.
It's a power move for a more attractive person than me.
Who's
right.
more attractive than you?
Everyone
could
else
try-
in this call.
I could try and command like
no,
not,
Eric's in this call.
not demand, but with an authoritative voice, say like, we need to have a sample to do some research. Please allow us to do this.
What are you trying to do?
Don't use please. That's not authoritative.
That's true. Yeah. Give us a sample. That way we can conduct research and do this properly.
And what do you want to roll?
Man.
All right. So like, rolling command can go poorly for you because if you don't roll well, like your guys aren't necessarily in a
I was
position
gonna
of power
say,
here.
are we just asking for a sample just because?
Well,
'Cause
it's
I don't think we would need the sample to sell it. Like we'd be like,
No,
listen,
I
I'm
think
not
it would
gonna.
help us study it and understand its properties. We don't know anything about it.
Yes, I agree with
And-
that.
Yeah, and I think it was a good idea, and then we can show people like this is what we can get.
Right.
Can you
Oh,
is
absolutely.
that cool? Yeah.
I'm just
I
saying
mean-
before we ask the question, we want to make sure we phrase it right because if we say give us a sample, like that sounds very like
Yes.
not
Yeah.
juvenile, but
agree.
like you know what I mean. So we want to word it
Yeah.
like we require a vial's worth of this for our own purposes to make sure that we can hawk it correctly. I also have no skills that allow me to do this, so someone else can feel free.
I was gonna say if somebody's better at it, go for it. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm willing to
I mean
try.
that's sort of my thing, but
Yeah, that's
I
her
don't
thing.
also. I mean, I can ask politely.
Yeah, if I say to you, because I do, I could be like, well, we'll obviously need to study it first.
Well,
Like,
And
we'll
then I'll
look
like
into
give you
it,
the look.
yeah.
One
I'll give
in
you the
command.
look.
You'll do your
All
best to look scholarly.
Mm. Oh wait, guys, no, it's happening. I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna say, we need a vial's worth for studying. I'm gonna give you the look. The look is gonna stress me out, so you get a bonus on your check. And then I'm gonna pass out, guys.
You really want to pass out at this point, don't you?
At this point, I kind of do. I want a trauma.
We'll
Do it.
We'll talk. We'll resolve that in a second. Let's do this roll
That's
first.
Yeah.
Right. Are you actually stressing yourself out?
Yeah,
Tammy?
I stress myself, yeah.
Okay.
So you have a bonus die
Okay, cool.
for this roll.
Because I would love to have a vial of this, so this is worth it.
Okay.
What'd I get?
You
Nice.
got the 6. And he says very good. Why don't the group of you go and rejoin the party, partake in the amenities of my estate, and before you leave, I will provide you with a small sample.
Thank you for your hospitality and your generosity. It is
Thank you for
an
your
honor to work with you.
horse brutality.
You look back over and he just has a horse head now, and he
Yep.
says, yeah.
This Leviathan blood isn't a joke.
Yeah. And he says, yes, I'm curious to see the extent of your abilities. And he
So are we.
flashes you.
I
a
don't say
small-
that.
No.
I was gonna say,
I don't
us
say that.
too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard
that.
same.
Insane.
And so he kind of like beckons for you to kind of like go and do your thing.
So
And at this point, I feel like the score is over.
Yeah.
Because the score was secure it started as secure a chain.
Turned into
and
something
then
so much bigger.
and then became like kind of like a secure an opportunity for another score, which is going to be sell some motherfucking Leviathan blood.
Jesus.
Do it.
This is killer.
So
excited about this.
I'm so glad that you crit that roll, because
Me too.
Oh my God, yeah.
This was a thing that I had in my back pocket since like last session, and I was like, let's see how this let's see how this conversation pans out.
yay!
Screw the red sashes. I want some Leviathan blood, man.
Yeah, so I think like the final kind of like the ending scene of this is like you guys like go back to the party, and we see you guys kind of like hanging out, maybe looking a little like wild-eyed at everything that you just saw, but like keeping your composure for the most part, before a servant comes up to you, Undertow, and like makes a gesture of like giving you like a drink or some sort of food or something, and in it is a small little like vial of this
sweet.
stuff, which you like covertly kind of like,
It's like hiding behind a napkin.
yeah,
I'll
it's
just
like
rub
very
a little on my gums and then
Oh my God.
and your face melts. Roll a new character. No,
just kidding.
So yeah, and then you guys kind of like go up.
Oh, did Crow just discover a new drug? Oh my.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
Rub it all
wouldn't
over
that
your
be?
face.
Wait. Wouldn't that be awesome if you found out that you could actually get high from it too? Like it would
Crow's
just
gonna
be-
figure it out.
You can do it. I believe in you.
well,
No sleep till Leviathan. Like
until you literally become a demon.
basically.
So yeah, so that's that. But before we get to like kind of like in between into downtime for the next score, Eric, let's use that I have a talk about trauma.
I sent you a message just now.
Did
Here's
you?
my pitch, though. I
I
did.
can't-
Here's my pitch.
where'd you send it?
Through Discord. It's fine because
Okay.
I'll pitch it right here.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's
The cutout of the score ending is us walking out the front door to like an empty walkway that's like darkly lit with lights. Undertow pulls out the vial and hands it to me to look at. I look at it. Boom! My trauma is obsessed. I'm now obsessed with Leviathan blood. and using it for all sorts of fun occult purposes.
Hell
Boom.
yeah. Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm like, wow, look at how pretty this liquid is. It's very
Really
pretty.
black,
Oh man, Eric,
like my soul.
Eric, I love you. Yeah, totally, absolutely.
Here's my pitch.
We'll get to that. We'll do some fun stuff with that in a little bit. But yeah, so y'all head back to the
hideout?
To home
hideout.
base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. Nice job.
Cool.
What
We
now?
all high five each other.
I'm
Yeah.
tired from appearing social, but not actually being social.
Yeah. It's alright. The entire time that you were gone, anytime anyone asked Crow for anything, I just quoted emo songs. So
Oh, thank you.
I
Did
figured.
you get my text
No.
or my message that asked if you were being angst enough for me?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it came
Oh,
through
okay.
Discord.
But like the answer is like do you
Yes.
fucking know me? Like
Yeah, thank
The
you.
answer's for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I have ideas for my downtime now.
Me too.
Yeah. So
Three.
so let's see. So does anyone have any like what's the like reaction, like the general reaction? It's like pretty late at night by the time you guys, well, like it's always nighttime, but like it's late in the like the chronological sense.
I mean,
when you get
I'm
back,
assuming
like,
we're all just high-fiving and cheering, or at least I am. I'm just giving
Yeah,
multiple
Echo
high
is
fives
not.
to everyone.
I
Yeah,
feel like Undertow
Crow
opened the door.
doesn't do that.
Undertow like opened the door to the warehouse and was like, "All right, guys, put it up." And like
right
Echo,
here, man.
Echo walks by just like,
Echo looks at you guys like freaking out over it, and even though she like doesn't really feel anything anymore, you can visibly see that there's something going on, that she's concerned,
mhm.
and yeah, she goes off and
Don't
to her corner and kind of thinks,
don't worry about this, guys. This is gonna be awesome. I already see it. We're gonna be. This is the start of a Leviathan Blood Empire for us. I can see it. I feel it. We're gonna be the best gang in the entire city, right? Right?
"What was that?
Come
I'm
on.
sorry. I'm sorry. What was that? Did you
Are
say
you serious?
something?"
Are you staring at the vial?
Yeah, no.
no.
I like slip it into my pocket, but then like I take it back out and I just hold it in my hand.
Maybe I should hold on to that for a moment.
Oh no. You couldn't possibly study it the way that I could. No offense to you. You know much more about rigging up a boat. We certainly indeed. But let's leave the occult studies to me.
All right, fair.
That's it.
You,
Convinced.
good point. Are you gonna study it?
Oh yes. Oh,
I
yes,
feel like
am. I'm
that's
just
gonna
gonna shuffle.
all of 13's downtime is like
I'm gonna
Just
I'm
studying
gonna shuffle past you guys like very like slimy almost. Like now I look like I'm like that wormy character. I'm like
Love
and
it.
then like squiggle my way up into my room. It's up like a staircase because I insist on making an entrance.
I love it.
And
Great. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going out to party. I don't know about you guys.
did we get an advance from him?
Echo's gonna start
An advance.
prepping her downtime action.
Hey,
Where are you partying?
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna find whatever place is open. You down?
Yes.
Yes. Undertow and Crow partying it up.
Undercrow.
Undercrow.
Aw.
That's the ship
Fanfic
name.
name.
Yeah, that's
And
the
maybe-
ship name.
Maybe someone will be Undercrow tonight. Oh, not me, but I'm saying it was
No.
supposed to be like.
No.
Yikes.
Not me, but somebody maybe.
All I'm gonna
Something
say
like
all I'm gonna say to that is a good old big old yikes.
Never mind. I forgot that I have a lot of tea here to drink.
Aw. All right, you're
Yeah,
lost.
I'll go out.
All right.
Just if you at any point in game, if your character makes that joke, I'm leaving you with the bill.
No,
Like-
no.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Right.
So let's talk about downtime, baby. Yeah. like who wants to do what? I'm gonna reward you guys for your time.
Yay!
That's right. So
Playing this game is a reward.
Oh.
Oh,
But
So
the
that's
real,
why
but the real treasure was the
So-
friendships we made along the way.
Oh God.
the people that we
Uh,
murdered.
Not the kids.
Not the kids.
The perfectly
where's the board?
perfectly normal adults that we murdered along the way who were
Yes.
totally evil and totally deserved it. So let's see. So I think you guys got some rep for sure.
My God, so much.
I'm gonna say you got like a decent amount of rep because you guys like ingratiated yourself with like some serious folks. So I'm
Hell
gonna give you guys 4 rep for that.
Hell yeah!
2
Guys, what if we get in good
Rep.
with both the big like gangs, like the Lamblacks and the Red Side? We're just like both their best friends. We could be
Oh,
that
we-
person. That
we
person
could-
is like
oh.
everyone's friend, and everybody's
I-
fighting each other. We're like, guys.
I thought that wouldn't work because as soon as we're friends with one, or they find out we're friends with one, they're gonna be mad. The other one's gonna be mad at us, right?
No, not if you
Yeah.
keep making criticals on all of your sway checks.
Right.
So-
yeah, whether or not you could play both sides, whether or not like the other finds out is entirely dependent on like how you
well
position
we
your
roll.
how you roll, and then also how you guys like position
Right.
yourself. Like like I'm more than
Social.
happy to facilitate like the game of politics. Like
Mm.
like we
There's
can
also
we can
option.
like Game of Thrones Peter Baelish this shit. I'm down. I'm down
there's
to play
also
that.
the option of
Yeah.
getting them to work together against the government, so that way it's led by.
That's
us.
the full anarchist ending.
Yes.
Just saying, that's an option.
I don't know if
Let's start a riot.
I suppose. I feel like the government keeps that lightning
Riot.
field up. We might not want to disrupt too much.
Um,
I have no input though. I'm obsessed with this Leviathan. What?
right. So
I
so
think we should work to cut off all other supplies of Leviathan blood. Like,
I pop my head back in. I agree.
so you guys got 4 reps. So 2 is the baseline rep that you get for a score. You either get less or more depending on how things go, but I think because things went well, you get the most amount of extra rep. You guys have
Hell
never
yeah.
you guys have never been here when I've rewarded you for a score before. This is a first. The other thing that y'all do is generate heat.
Yeah.
So you generate
Fair.
some amount of heat.
we are
you-
toasty.
I think that though, because this went off like relatively without a hitch, you only generated 1 heat.
Sweet.
So that's
Oh,
pretty
no
cool.
heat.
The other thing that you get normally is coin. You get a reward. But I don't think you get coin this time because the reward is like the vial, which is rare enough in and of itself, and then
Right.
and then
That
and
does,
then
in its own worth a lot.
yeah, and then also like this score, like the point of it wasn't to make money. The point of the next
Yeah.
score is going to be to make money.
But
Mm.
I mean, hypothetically, okay. So, what the amount of Leviathan blood we got in that vial? What?
Mhm.
How? Like, is that enough to power like a lamp or like a building? Like, what's like? How-
You got the vial to try to figure that out because y'all
Yeah.
have no,
We
y'all
have
have
to
no
run
idea.
tests.
Yeah.
You have to run some tests. Okay,
This
cool.
is like
So I
this
don't-
is some like very like rare substance. Like
We
like
are
this
we
is
are
like
Jack
a-
Skellington figuring out Christmas right now.
pretty
Like,
much.
yeah,
But that's all on 13 over there.
yeah.
What? Did somebody say my name? What?
Okay, are you gonna be able to focus on this? Because I'll take the vial away. No, I.
I
Probably
can almost guarantee I'll be able to focus on almost nothing else.
Cool. Are we doing downtime now?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's do it.
Who wants to go first?
I think I would.
Yeah.
Okay, so same thing as our usual kind of like downtime routine. If you guys want to just like go through quickly and do just do the roll, go from there, then cool. If there are like scenes that you guys want to play out, by all means, feel free to jump in with those. If you want to like interact with like different NPCs or whatever, then like cool. That can be arranged, I'm sure. And yeah, so what do you got for me?
First off, I wanted to start I guess, a clock, a project, or whatever to send out letters to contacts on the outskirts of the town that I might have contact to, trying to find research on this blood itself, like lore on the Leviathans, ghost stories, the maybe anybody else who has encountered the ability to even wound one, see that collect stories of any information that might be useful about these Leviathans.
Right. So there is a role that you can do, and I'm just looking up. I think I'll have to bust out the actual book. I don't see it on the reference sheet here. There is like a role you can do to gather information.
Okay.
I'll look up the specifics of that role in a sec. Yeah, let me bust out the book and look because it's not on this little reference sheet I have here. But it's basically like you roll, and based on it's that Powered by the Apocalypse system of like based on how well you roll, you get to ask me a certain number of questions about a thing.
Yeah.
So that can totally be like a thing that you can do if you would like.
Is that a downtime activity?
Yeah, it can be.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's not listed in, like, the game, like, the reference sheet as a downtime activity, but I'm more than willing to let you do that as a downtime activity.
Yeah, it's like the most of the group is excited and out celebrating of this brand new discovery, and Echo's just like, this is important. This is a little terrifying. We need to like get started on research now.
Yeah.
So she's in her corner doing that, sending out all her contacts that she might have access.
Yeah. Okay. Gathering information is a long-term project. Look at that.
Should I start a clock?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, like an investigation is a long-term project. So yeah. So just start I mean, it depends on how thorough you want your investigation to be, right? Like, if you just want to like get some cursory information, you could do it as like a 4-part. If you want to like go like deep into the like physiological like makeup of things, then like that could be a thing.
I don't want to go like crazy detail, but I want to be thorough. So like 8 or 10, I don't know.
Well, like I think 10 is definitely like super deep, right?
Okay, let's go with 8 then.
Yeah, 8 is also like pretty deep. Like 4 or 6 is like just surface level, kind of like asking around, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so
I'm like calling in all my not all my favors, but quite a lot of favors to get this information.
Sure. What would you like to roll? Because it's all based on how well you roll.
Let's see. I guess.
Also remember, as you guys are like kind of planning your downtime actions and stuff, that you can spend a coin to take extra downtime actions. There's currently 1 coin in the crew sheet that technically is like up for grabs. If you guys want to like strategize, if you know, like if like Eric, you want to like take an extra one to do some extra research, because I assume that's the kind of shit that you're going to be doing too. So.
That's a lot of it's going to be that. No, I'm not going to take the coin though.
I'd like to use finesse, but I don't think it's going to be that. So it'd probably be survey.
Be what?
Survey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
So controlled, risky.
Yeah. The effects, like the other effects, don't matter because we're downtiming. So.
Okay.
All right. You get incomplete or partial information. So like, what does it look like as you're kind of like as we kind of get like we begin the downtime montage? Like, what do we see you doing?
I guess it's, since I kind of rolled bad, it's more like I'm not sure where to begin. So I'm just looking through lists of names, trying to rack my memory, not coming up with anything. Maybe it's been a really long day and I can't I'm still trying to process of what's just gone on.
Right.
But I find maybe like 1 or 2 names, and I make some just quick letters
Okay.
and send those out.
Yeah, and I think like the like information that you like end up getting back is like mostly like stuff that you've already known, right? It's like folklore and like stuff like that you've heard already. So like you
more confirmation on stuff I already knew.
Exactly. Like it's like yeah, like that it's you know, leviathans are these like terrifying beasts beyond the like comprehension of mere mortals, and they are like the like physical manifestations of demons in this world, you know, like Taikarosi, fun stuff. Like you're a Taikarosi, like there are some Taikaros people who like consider like who like claim at least to like track their ancestry back to demons, and that's why you get like the kind of like supernatural features. So like you know that like that's a thing. So like you get like a bunch of confirmation, and then like the little bit of information that I'll give you is like you think to maybe like reach out to like I don't know, like if you have a family or whatever, like folklore about like your people could lead to something maybe.
Okay. So I get like maybe a name or one like little clue of where I could go next.
Right.
So is that like 1 tick on the clock or
Yeah.
that? How do I fill in just one?
You just click on one. Hold on.
There. Nope. There we go.
Just,
Do you have to start with the top, like the one on the right
There you go.
top?
There it is.
Got you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So neat.
Okay. And then while I'm in
Swap
like
over to
full
map view for you guys. There you go.
research mode, I want to also try and work on my other clock, which was finding the a ghosted tuner for my weapon to make it so I can actually do damage. Like work on that.
Okay. That's right.
Still haven't found somebody who I can talk to about this, so that's what I've been working on.
Okay. Yeah. What would you like to? What kind of roll are you gonna make?
I guess it would also be survey because I don't have any other.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, so actually, like as long as you're taking the action, because you only have 1 tick left. So as long as you're taking the action, you complete the clock. So
Okay.
You don't have to roll if you don't want to. You can roll for fun if you want.
I think I'll be good.
Okay.
It's gonna take 10.
So yeah, so you like ask around, and you find out about a blacksmith who can like deals in like enchanting. Like he like has he like you go talk to a blacksmith, and he sends you to like gives you a place to go for like a whisper to begin that enchanting process.
All right.
So
Very cool.
yeah.
And with all that research, Tez kind of like just works out for the rest of the night and waits for the others to show back.
Okay. So you have the information now to do the like enchanting on your weapon, and now so next time we'll start a new clock that is actually getting the weapon enchanted.
Right.
Cool. You can just clear out the find a person clock and put on a 6-part clock that is like weapon enchanting type
Okay.
situation. Cool. Nice. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
All right.
As we all like, wait, we're like, who's? Obviously, I'm just gonna study. Like literally just spending the entire one studying.
So-
Because I had the trauma, my stress resets, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to focus on visiting a vice or anything.
Yep. So
Yes.
okay, so we did the gathering information roll a little weirdly. So you want to? I assume you want to do a gather information roll also. There.
Sort of, yeah. I'm gonna also make a gather information roll.
Okay, so the way that the gather information roll works is you ask me a question.
Okay,
And then
that's fair.
And then you ask me a question, you roll, and then I answer based on how you roll.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure out the specifics that I want to know first.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because we have to sell it eventually. So I guess my big question is, who is our target audience? Like, that's my, like, where should we begin looking for potential buyers?
Right.
As opposed to, like, door-to-door sales.
They're selling Leviathan blood.
Is your carpet a mess? Have you tried Leviathan blood?
I remember when they first invented Leviathan blood.
I hated it.
It was awful.
Thank you for getting my SpongeBob
Yes.
references. Okay, so you wanna know like kind of like where to start
Yeah, so I do a study roll.
looking for a buyer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you get a standard response. Okay, cool. So you get so I'll give you an answer, and then you get because you got a 5, you get a follow-up question if you would like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me the answer.
So the question is you're looking for like who would potentially buy this kind of stuff.
Like within like the whole setting. Like they understand the whole
Right.
premise of why they're getting it. Yep.
Yeah, so it's you mentioned it before, but it's true. Like you could probably definitely off it to a cult. Like
Oh, definitely. That's what I was thinking.
cults do all sorts of like weird shit all the time to different
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
There are also like kind of like black market tradesmen who use it to make like black market like weapons and like
Okay.
also like there's like Leviathan infused blank is probably like, and like the blank can be anything, probably
Right,
on the black
Leviathan
market.
infused like
Like,
incense
essential oils like
to burn away the need for vaccines. Right. No, I understand.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got
Yeah.
black market dudes. I have to write stuff down. This is black market dudes and cults. Okay. My follow-up question.
Yeah.
What's the going rate?
It is so you're
Like insert some or
yeah, so it depends on it's very situational. So like we probably see you like going to like a library or something and like or like looking at like different sorts of like transactional like histories, like ledgers and stuff like that. And you see it go for like all sorts of different rates. It like
and it seems situational on like its purpose.
yeah, and like how savvy the sellers are versus the buyers. Like there's like you can totally tell that like
So there's there's no universal rate that it goes for.
Is there like an economy around it where it will be worth more at certain times versus other times? Like, will it go up and down in value? Like, will there be like some guys just came back with a whole, so supply and demand type of stuff, or is that too much?
You can ask that question as a downtime action on your turn.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't just give
So-
away all my secrets.
Okay.
So those two pieces of information would have been the two pieces that I imagine Undertow I did for Undertow. Like I was like, I'll look into some basics for you just to get that covered, and then just don't bother me for the next 48 hours. So I'll give that to you, and that'll be that vignette. And then the rest of it is just going to be a 4 or 6 part clock for me to start studying some basic purposes of Leviathan blood. I would like to start it off with like occult, like book studies. I don't want to actually touch the vial or like attempt to use any of the blood
Man.
yet.
I thought you were just
No,
gonna
I'm
be
not.
like, no, I attuned to
You're
it.
smart.
I'm obsessed. I was looking at the other traumas and I was like, all right, so with one, I'm obsessed with this, but I'm not reckless yet. Like my character's very thoughtful. Like I'm
Right.
gonna be careful
Sure.
not to waste this.
It's the
But if I
difference
get
in-
double traumas, oh boy.
it's the difference in how you and I would play, because I'd just be like, yep, I attuned to it. Let's go.
Oh no. I'm not gonna.
How deep
I'm not
does
gonna
this rabbit
throw my
hole
party
go?
down.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you want to know like historically, like what its application?
Yeah, stuff like that, but like not from like 4th grade history books I had to read in social studies. Like I'm looking up like darkweb.net/geocities. Like I'm finding stuff.
Cool. Yeah, so
Like old
depending on how
shit
you
on
roll, I will tell you some cool shit that you can that Leviathan blood has been used for.
I was gonna do a project, or do you want me to just do like a check?
Well, doing
'Cause I wanted to-
starting a project is like involves making a check.
Girl, you right. 4 or 6 part for this kind of a thing.
It depends on how, like, same thing I said to.
Gotcha. I'll do a 6 part then.
How deep do you want the rabbit hole to go?
So deep.
Leviathan blood study. Leviathan blood study sounds like a really weird Bible study. Come over for Leviathan blood study, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna do a study, another study check
All right,
to start this lovely clock.
do it.
Ooh.
Oof.
You get distracted because the vial is too close to you.
It's so cute though. I'm like, oh my god.
So what was the question?
It was just basic research
Basic,
into like
yeah.
what it's
Alright.
used for in the occult and stuff.
Yeah, so you get let's see. You like kind of like pour through some documents or whatever we see you again kind of like researching. And you like find all sorts of stuff, but like it sounds like it's like old wives' tales type stuff. Like,
Right.
Like, oh, like if you take a shot of Leviathan blood before you go to bed, it'll cure any illness, or like
like
you know,
if you
like-
soak your socks in Leviathan blood
Yeah.
and wear them when you're jogging up a hill, get rid of pneumonia.
yeah, yeah, totally. So you find like some
Gotcha.
stuff like that.
All right, I imagine it's a really cute montage of just my face like, what the hell
Yeah,
is this?
yeah,
It's just one dot for a 2.
yeah.
That's fine. And then I'm gonna spring the trap card. I took calculating for my playbook advance, which gives me 1 more downtime action.
Hell yeah. And now I'm
Nice.
gonna attune to
Very
the.
You've activated my trap card.
Obsession activated. I'm also gonna make another study roll for this.
I thought you were gonna be like, and now I'm gonna attune to the.
Now Again, I'm not reckless yet, although I might be pushing for it. But I'm playing true to my character.
Sure,
He'd be careful,
I appreciate it.
but he's gonna be obsessed. Oh,
All
that's
right.
better.
Better.
So
What's
so
that?
what was the question? Same question?
Same question. Like I'm looking for. Although this time I realized I had to be more specific because I just googled like Leviathan blood purpose, and it was like wivestales.org. And I was like,
Yeah.
no. So it's gonna be more like
You found
how
some like several years old Reddit threads.
like a Reddit. And I'm like, this question is gonna be how could one use Leviathan blood for occult purposes?
There you go.
Delete search history. Incognito mode.
No mode.
Scholarly articles only.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you come across, and again you get a follow up because you got a 5.
Nice.
You come across the information that the blood of leviathans can be used in occult style rituals to commune with like a manifestation of that demon that it is from,
Cool.
or that leviathan that it's from.
That's handy for a
That is-
whisper.
I was gonna say that's handy to know. And then I get a follow-up question. Whose blood is it? No, I'm just...
I think that's an awesome question.
I don't think
Oh
Steve
my
will
God.
give me
Is it
that you're gonna
Felicia's blood?
have that you can
Is it
attune.
Felicia's blood?
You can attune to find out. Yeah, Felicia's an old god. Spoiler alert.
Oh boy.
Cthulhu, Felicia.
Oh
That'd be
man,
amazing.
I do wanna attune to it so bad. No, I'll look up the specifics for performing that ritual as a way to usher in the fact that for my next playbook advancement, I'll be taking ritual.
Okay. So you're asking for like the specifics of it?
Yeah, the follow-up would be like, oh, you can use it to like manifest and commune with, not manifest, but commune with the Leviathan. So I'm like, oh, what else would one need to do that?
Gotcha. Yeah, sure. You can find like some like details. Like you don't know how accurate it is because like you're getting into
Right.
like you're getting into like the deep dark web.
Right,
So,
like the username for the post was like hashtag tells the truth all the time. You can trust me.com.
yeah,
Yeah.
42069.
42069. LOL, LOL, LOL.
Yeah,
X,
like
X, X underscore.
there's like an XX underscore before and after his name.
Yeah. Listen, you're calling me out right now
Trust me, I know.
with my Gaia Online account shit over here.
But yeah, so that's fine.
We used to be AIM buds, Simone. I know.
I know.
Triple
X. Japanese username Triple X, yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, yeah. So just like I don't know this. Like Steve doesn't know the specifics of
Right.
this, but you like write down in your notes that you like found.
13 has a gist.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cool. Look at this guy with his 3 downtime actions.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like
a thing.
he's the control player in Magic who's just like taking the 20-minute long turns.
Simone can tell you, I 100% am. It's like when people play against me, they're like, I summon this. I'm like, do you? Do you summon that?
Yeah, accurate.
Do you summon it though? I don't think you do.
Remind me to tell you guys sometime. I'll tell you a story about how like a card once got banned because the deck that it enabled had this like crazy high win rate, but it literally won by like going infinite in one turn, and that turn that it would take to win literally took like almost a half hour to do, unless you were like super fast at it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I could go into. I'll tell you guys the story some other time. Who's going next?
Kitty butt.
Kitty butt. Saban, say hi.
Saban.
Say hi.
Suplex the train, Saban.
Oh boy. He'll do it. He'll do it. Yes,
I
he
know
will.
he totally would.
Are you done, Eric?
Yeah, those are my 3.
Okay.
Oh, how many more ticks did I get on my project? For
it's
5, 2?
I think it's 2, yeah. 6 is 3.
That's right. Yep. All right, I'm good.
Alright. I'll go.
What do you got?
I'm gonna finish out gathering all the information that I need on Celine because the Leviathan blood is a little bit over my head, and it looks like 13's already got it. It looks like Echo's stressed enough about it, and I'm still reeling from like Echo go back from prison. Oh no, PTSD.
Prison.
Right.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
Yeah. So I'm gonna slip out and not care about Leviathan for a little while and go
I'm gonna
collect
go
the rest of the information.
stalk around
her.
on some rooftops for a bit.
Yeah, and I only have 1 tick left.
Okay. What skill? Again, you don't have to roll because it'll complete no matter what.
Yeah.
What skill are you using to complete?
I'm gonna use study.
Cool. So
Yeah.
you're studying like
Yeah.
what do
Study
you
a person, document, or item with close scrutiny to gather information, apply knowledge, gain a deeper understanding, do research.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I've spotted her. So now I'm just going to use that last tick to start to try to memorize routes and like areas that she has seen more in.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, like we kind of get like the like kind of montage of like as it like cuts out of like the like epic researching session that 13 is doing, and like the last scene of that is like 13 you like close the book and we see you like rub your eyes because you've been at it for like a long time, and you like look over and we get this like the camera totally does that thing where like it's out of focus and close up and you're in focus, and then you go out of focus and it goes in focus, and like as it is, like we can see that like even though like it's just in this vial and it hasn't been moved or anything, like we still see it looks like there's like motion in the vial.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
And then it
That's cool.
cuts to Crow, you're like watching Celine as she's like coming home or something for the night or whatever. Yeah, and so you like again, like time is kind of nebulous in downtime, so we see you kind of like following her around throughout her like you see like the building that she is like currently like posted at, and we see you kind of like watching her as she like kind of like goes throughout her day, and like she finishes her day and starts like heading home, and you now have like the information of like if you wanted to like set up some sort of like score of like confront her or kill her or something like that, like you now have like the means to do so.
Okay. Because the next part of that is I don't want to just outright kill her. I want to get to the point where I could use that hourglass on her.
Right. Well, y'all don't have the hourglass right now, so
I know. So now I have all the information. I have her number at any point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing we see before we fade into either like the second part of your downtime or like whatever Undertow is doing, we see you watching Celine as she like gets home, and she opens the door, and you
no.
you see a like toddler like come up and
yes!
her leg, and the scene cuts.
Yes, I hope. Can it cut on a slightly different tone?
What do you mean?
So I want the door to open. I want like a babe, like a tiny cherub of a toddler to come up, and then I want her to hear something, whip around, and then wherever the fuck I was just standing, it's just chimney.
Sure.
And he flies off. Yes.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah. So Celine's got a kid.
She looks and like there like it flies off, and like a crow feather, like a feather kind of like floats down, and the camera like focuses on it, lands at her feet, and she like kind of gives like a and then like turns around and like goes ushers the kid back inside.
Yeah. Tunnels her kid back in.
Yeah.
Yes,
this is gonna be like a Kill Bill situation.
I was gonna say.
This is gonna be great.
Crow, when you kill her in front of her child, you better look at them and go, if you still feel a kind of way about this in 10 years, come find me.
Yes, accurate.
Yeah. There's some context for that. Watch the prison episode. Do you have another downtime action, or do you want to just like take a minute?
No. So, and then my next downtime action, because I wanted to like get that off my mind, and now Crow feels super accomplished. I do actually want to start another long-term project of figuring out and then dismantling the other sources of Leviathan blood.
That's
That's
a
a
lot.
lot of projects.
That's a very big. So like sources of illegal Leviathan blood, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my plan is that like Crow's gonna be all about like this, and I just want to like try to underground it where we either become the only source or every source then continues to route only through us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm about it. So this is gonna be this is like a probably like a multi-clock long
Let's do it.
long-term project. So let's start off with a let's see. You guys are still like tier 0, so just like getting access to all this information is gonna be like a difficult process for you.
Okay.
The higher
This
the
is
higher
all the behind the scene time,
right,
like,
yeah. You guys, I'm sure as players you understand like the higher up in like tier you are, then like the
Right.
easier it is to access a lot of this sort of like inside baseball style information.
Right.
So why don't you start an 8-part clock that is
Okay.
gathering information.
What did I just do?
You started a 6-part clock.
It's not letting me get rid of the other clock for Celine.
Where this
Do I,
one?
do I click on this thingy? I got it. Never mind.
Okay.
I
there
did
you
it.
go. Yeah,
Yes.
you did it. I see.
yeah, I couldn't
Okay.
get rid of the other one, so I just emptied it and made a new clock.
Yeah. You did
Yeah,
it.
this was just my last one was a 6-part, and now this is an 8-part.
But yeah, once you make a clock, I don't think you can delete it.
You can
Is it-
actually.
Yeah, you can.
There's a little
Little
like
X.
a lock in the bottom right, and you click the lock, and it lets you delete it.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god, look at that. Oh, I almost deleted my Barstuck's coffee one.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't want
So
that.
is this finding the sources? Is this what the 8-part clock is for?
Yeah. Finding information about this stuff.
Cool. Finding information for Leviathan blood sources. All right.
What would you like?
Let's do.
I think like study would be a good thing here. Maybe survey. It's up to you.
I'll go with survey just because I have points in it.
Yeah. You could also you could make an argument. This is like I just like helping y'all. You could like make an argument for hunt here if you wanted to. Like you're like hunting down the sources of things like tracking. That sort of stuff.
Is that strawberry pocky?
Sure is.
Oh, I need to
just-
go get some now.
I was just looking at that like I haven't eaten anything for dinner yet.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's
Sorry.
fine.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
I was literally eating Subway in front of you. I was like, ah.
actually, yeah, I'm okay with that because it says hunt a target, gather information about its locations and movement, and I'm literally
Yeah.
hunting the location and movement of Leviathan blood throughout the
Mhm.
underground of the city.
Yeah. It's like you
Yeah.
are addressing a challenge with tracking or violence.
Yes. All right, and then the position and the effect don't matter.
Let it not be said that I don't look out for my players.
I get no
that
bonus
I
die.
don't have my players' best interests at heart.
You are a very fair DM.
Okay, that's a decent hunt.
What you got? 4?
I got a 4.
All
Yeah.
right. 2 ticks on your clock.
Okay.
And so yeah, we get like the next like little bit of the downtime montage is you kind of like maybe like asking around and like looking and kind of like looking throughout like certain districts and stuff, looking for like traces of that sort of stuff.
I like the image of like the camera is shot down a long like alleyway, and then like you see Crow like walking up, and then you just see like feet at the end of it, and then there's like a reach down and like a hand, and it's like blood, and then just like goes and like walks out of shot. Like
Yep.
that's how I imagine the hunt part of this goes.
Sick.
Yeah, because now he knows what it smells like.
Right.
Yeah.
Undertow.
Yeah.
What would you like to do? I assume you want to de-stress.
I'm not de-stressing. No, I'm legitimately going to party.
Alright.
I wanted to finish. Well, I want to finish out my clock for starting a club because that's still happening, guys. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, it is.
Now it's gonna be a blood club. Like
Oh, it can be a whatever you want club, but it's happening. So I'm gonna finish out my clock.
I can't wait until my obsession forces me to summon a Leviathan during parties.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go.
Just
I'm
to
literally
try
going
to
out clubbing,
see.
and I'm gonna finish out my clock while I am clubbing
Alright.
with all of my friends at the club.
Making contacts.
Yep.
I don't think I have to roll for it because it's just one tick, right?
Yeah, everyone had like one tick left on their projects.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this is just the first clock in a multi-part project because this is just figuring out how I make a club.
It speaks a lot to how I run this game when you're just like, I want to do a thing, and I'm just like, all right, it's gonna be multiple clocks. Let's go.
Hey, whatever.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm super excited. I mean, you guys are all doing research and stuff, and I'm just super, super pumped that we have an actual line of real money and real legitimate this is gonna be a real business where I'm just super excited. I'm not gonna say it to anyone, but I am gonna tell everyone that I'm doing real well and I'm real excited. I probably won't keep my mouth shut. Just letting you guys know.
Great.
Oh no, you're the person in the movie who's like, "Oh, we're about to make a lot of money."
I'm doing fine. Drinks all around, except I have no coin. But drinks all around.
Yeah.
Put it on my tab. It'll be fine.
Right. Cool.
So now that my clock is done, what do I do now?
Well, so now you have the requisite knowledge necessary. We the players and GM don't, but Undertow now has enough kind of background information to understand the business practices of how does club happen.
How does club go?
You watched Night at the Roxbury.
How is Clubby formed?
How Clubby form?
That's a good.
How does Club get pregnant? What?
How is Babby formed?
Can I get pregnant from Club?
How does Club go is gonna be a good Jackbox T-shirt game.
How does Club go?
How does Club go?
Random aside, y'all who haven't been joining us for our Jackbox game night
yes, please join us.
You guys have been missing out.
I don't get how you guys play Jackbox. What do you watch? Where's the screen?
You go.
It's on Discord.
You sit in a Discord call without cameras on.
So you can see the TV in one of them?
No, I just screen share my screen. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you after. We're gonna be done in 10 minutes. I'll show you before.
Okay.
Okay.
So now do I start a new clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, more clocks. Everybody's got clocks.
Is it six? Is it 6 part still? I don't even know.
Well, so what do you want to? So this will be open club.
I want to open the friggin' club.
All right, this will be an 8-part clock.
Open club, go.
How do I make it 8 parts when it's 6 parts?
You have to delete it and make
God.
another clock.
So go to the bottom right, and you're gonna see something that looks like a little lock. You gotta click
I see a little bell.
That's
no, the bottom
right
right
underneath
the
it.
section, for the clocks in general.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
right above your text.
Oh, thank you.
There it is.
Thank
Just,
you.
just keep posting clocks in the chat,
And then you go boop, and now you have a clock.
That's too many.
Now you have
Too many. Oh god, too many.
Too many clocks.
Okay.
Too
many clocks.
I use
You know
clocks. Sorry, guys.
Did I mention that I'm Facebook friends with the guy that plays the murderer in Too Many Cooks?
Oh, that's good.
No, but Jesus,
He's the coolest dude ever. He's awesome. Anyway, a coworker told me he'll become your Facebook friend if you friend him. So,
Oh my god, that's so cool.
I know he's awesome. Anyway, now how does I open a open a club?
You roll a skill, and then based on your roll, you fill a subsequent number of ticks until you fill out the clock, and then club.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Can I use my Rook's Gambit for this, or is that only in a? Is that only in a like a scene?
And you
Ooh,
could
you
just
should devil's bargain her.
you could just roll a sway.
Oh, I can.
Because, well, like, the way that clocks work, quick refresher, is like
Yeah.
you roll whatever skill, and then you just describe to me how you're using that skill to
Correct.
to further the so if you want to roll a sway, just tell me how you're using sway to advance your agenda of opening a club.
Well, let's see. I want to learn. Oh, hold on. I have to name it. The name of the clock is Club Open Time.
Nice.
How does club go?
How does club
Club
go?
Open
Club
Time.
Time. I I am going to
Fuck prepositions. We don't have time for
Well,
those. We're going. We don't need prepositions.
let's
Go club
say.
now.
Oh, how about this? I can use my sway to see if I can partner up with someone who is, or I can use this way to see if I can purchase a club from someone who's trying to sell one. Does that work?
If you have the money with which to purchase said club,
Well,
then yeah.
Well, I don't have any money.
Mm.
How am I supposed to open a club with no money?
I don't know.
Damn
Well,
it.
that's what we're trying to get.
Right.
All right. Can I talk someone into giving me their club or becoming partners with
Maybe.
them?
Maybe.
that is a line that you could potentially take.
Sweet. All right, let's try this.
Yeah.
Just regular ass sway.
Right. Yeah.
Regular ass swaying.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you get.
Damn it!
Your hips lie.
Uno tick.
God damn it! Do I get anything?
You get a tick. Yeah.
Oh, God.
You get Lyme disease.
The worst.
Yikes. All right. That's that, and I think that is everyone's downtime actions done.
Word.
I think so.
The last thing that we have is a entanglement, but we'll do that later.
Great.
Let's just table that one for now.
Great.
Cause it's 9:57. I owe y'all some experience points, and then we'll call it a night. Cause
May I go first because I have to jump off?
Yeah,
go
you got
for it.
bound.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Gracias, you guys. Alright, so I didn't roll any desperate actions. I definitely just a challenge with influence.
Yeah, this was the like all the previous scores have been like fighty, like here's like Crow and Echo doing badass shit, and like this was just like here's the talking score, and
and
you're just
we did
like
it.
I am a talk person. I do the talk.
Yeah.
I do talk time.
my God.
Talk is good. Okay. And then I am going. So I'll take 2 in that, and then I'm going to. I don't really think I expressed my beliefs. Did I express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Not that I
A
remember.
little bit for background. Trying to with the something with the pirates. I can't remember, but I know that you did talk about that.
You
I would
did. You
argue
did like a little bit in your, I think in like your pitch to him originally.
We talked about outside of the game. We talked a little bit about like everyone. So like Simone, you weren't here for this, but everyone, as soon as I mentioned Leviathan blood and brought that in, we had to take a sidebar, and everyone was like, "Wait a minute, how does this relate to my character's background?" So we talked about that a little bit, but it was like.
So I think we should all get one experience in that then.
Sure.
Because I mean,
yeah.
it might not have been
Alright.
in game, but
Yeah.
it was something that we all
But we-
did.
Yeah, it was in a session. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You got one.
And I did not struggle with my vice or traumas, so I am
Okay.
done.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Great.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Have a
Good
good night.
night.
See you next week.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll go next because I'm the next one who has to leave.
All right.
Mine's
go for it.
easy. I was gonna argue for 1 or 2 in the address challenges with knowledge because I used study in the scene for various things, and then I used study for all of my downtime activity.
Yeah, I think like the back half of this was very much like.
Yeah,
study.
there was a lot of me in books.
Yeah.
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 A lot of books in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna fight for those 2.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much-
Yeah,
And then the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
for the belief drives from before.
Yeah, and you get one for getting a trauma.
There
Oh,
you go.
sick. So 4. Cool.
Nice.
All right. I'll
Nice,
do
nice,
1
nice.
there and 3 there and call it a day. All right.
There you
Good
go.
night, everybody.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night, bud. As the overlay breaks a second time. Let's see. That's fine.
It's getting smashed to pieces.
That's all right. Now it's just Discord. Now it's just the 3 of us.
Yay.
Who's going next?
You can.
Okay. No desperate actions. Address a challenge with tracking your violence. Oh well, there was a hunt I rolled.
A hunt I rolled is like the name of your new EP dropping on SoundCloud.
There we go. So I'll ask 1 for that because it was literally like the very last thing I did, and it was kind of light.
Yeah.
As far as beliefs, drives, and heritage, like you said, that's basically how you started the session tonight, and that was
But I think
half.
the back half, like, so the back half, like, you came in and then you were just like, let me track down my backstory.
exactly, yeah. So So I'm gonna ask 2 for that one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So then yeah. So I think that's it, cause no vice or traumas.
Cool.
Yay.
Neat.
And I think I'm on the similar one as well, where I get 2 for that as well, because I talked about my background for the Leviathan blood part, and then I also talked about, or I use my downtime to basically reach out to the outskirts and try and get more information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
No violence, no trauma,
Yep.
no desperate actions. So just
Balancing out how there was like a very violent start to this campaign with
Yeah.
like now we're getting
We'll
a
get
little
there.
bit, we're getting a little bit more into the weeds of like, you know, politicking and positioning and all that stuff. Cool. Excellent.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's gonna do it for us tonight, folks. You can catch this. This will be on YouTube soon. If you're on YouTube, then hello.
the frog is dead
What up?
on YouTube. Subscribe.
Second shout out to Dragon Rain, the YouTube person who reminded me that, or pointed out to me. That's the word. I can't talk.
Yeah.
I've been talking for 2 hours straight. Pointed out to me that the episodes of this were labeled wrong in the YouTube channel. They're all fixed now. It's all there.
Oh, nice. Oh, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah. Someone posted on our second episode going, "Where's episode 3?" And I went to go look, and I labeled episode 3 as episode 4, and then like a couple weeks later, I labeled like what should have been episode 7 as episode 9. So we were on like episode 12 when we were supposed to be on like episode like 8 or 9 or something.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
or I think this is 10. I think this is session 10. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that sounds about right.
Well, we'll find out by the YouTube.
You'll find out.
history.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow when I put this VOD up. But yeah, for now, we'll say goodbye to the internet. D&D on Thursday.
Bye, internet.
Bye,
Internet.
Yeah, bye everyone.